I think it's okay for me to talk about my favorite character in not just Jojolion, but in fact all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. My favorite character is Haruno Higashikata. However, it seems like a lot of people, especially on Jojolion Twitter, seem to have forgotten about Haruno Higashikata. So let me just remind you all of his amazing glory. Haruno Higashikata is in fact the second most important character in the story of Jojolion. Haruno Higashikata's namesake comes from Giorno Giovanna's original name, Haruno. The reason for this is because Gappy's name is Josuke Higashikata, who is the same as the Part 4 protagonist, Josuke Higashikata. So, of course, our second biggest character in Jojolion would have to have the same name as the protagonist of the next part to Diamond is Unbreakable, being Golden Wind, thus giving us Haruno Higashikata. Haruno's first appearance is in the Wall Eyes with Josuke. See, he's right there. And is pretty much just the reverse of Josuke, but also being very similar to him. Gappy is like Josefume with some Kira elements in there, but Haruno is more like Kira, as you can tell from his design, with some Josefume elements with him. Josuke and Haruno pretty much feel like two sides of the same coin, and it's most shown by the fact that Josuke has 4 balls, but Haruno has none. This is because while buried, Josuke actually stole Haruno's balls, which leads many fans to wonder, and even Haruno himself, how he is supposed to pee. Because as we all know, pee is stored in the balls, and if Haruno has no balls, then where does he store his pee? Though this is still unknown, I hope to get the answer of this very soon in Jojolion. Haruno's stand ability is called Crazy Little Thing, which allows him to create bubbles that are capable of redistributing small amounts of matter. This is also just the exact opposite of Josuke's, since Gappy's bubbles steal properties while Haruno's gives properties back. The stand is honestly really strong, and I'm glad to see the twin brother of Josuke have a stand that's as strong as his, but also being really similar in the fact that it also uses bubbles. Not only does Haruno Higashikata have an amazing stand, but he is also amazing with his quotes. Haruno has a lot of quotable moments that are memed pretty heavily in the fandom. Like when Haruno said, "There is a point where we needed to stop and we have clearly passed it, but let's keep going and see what happens," during the "I am a rock" fight. And there's also another amazing quote, which I will say later, but man did it have me in complete tears. Haruno as a character was all over the first half of Jojolion. He was practically there with Josuke in every single fight that took place, except a few like California Kingbed. But he was just always there working with Josuke. Even though Haruno seemed like one of the two main characters of the part, there is a tragedy for this character, and this takes place during and after the Aphex brothers fight. After the Aphex brothers lost the battle, Haruno decided to vanish with Carrera, telling Josuke that, "Josuke, I know how badly you want to save Holly-san. However, this Rokakaka stuff will get me killed if I intervened, and I cannot die without seeing her." And after this, Haruno decides to stay low for the rest of the part, which really shows us that he really does care for Holly-san, and he definitely just wants to be back with her. However, just because he went missing with Carrera doesn't mean his impact as a character vanished. For example, when Haruno told me that only 3.1% of my audience is subscribed, please do it. But also the fact that he was actually the one to snipe poor Tom, killing him instantly, though no one else in the Ozone Baby fight seemed to have noticed this, showing to us that Haruno really is very smart and is able to hide from everyone, especially when people like Rai, Jobin, and Toru were at the scene. And again, shows us that he really is similar to Kira, who is also very smart. Though sadly, we haven't gotten a big part of Haruno's character in him for a long time. Even to the point where, like Kei or Kyo Nijimura, Haruno was shown to have disappeared in the new family photo. But we did see some leaks that suggest that Haruno will return soon, maybe even the next chapter of Jojolion. So please everyone, when Haruno makes his return in the series, we have to have hashtag Haruno Returns trending on Twitter. It's only right for the best character in all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.